Look at all those explosions. Hey everyone, what's up? Overworld Games here. Hope you all are doing good today, and let's dive straight into the Anthem news. Today we're talking about what players want removed from Anthem. There's been a storm of opinions about this lately, and that is luck. We're talking about the luck stat. It seems like a lot of players in the player base currently want this removed from Anthem. They have a good argument, but also there are good arguments as to why people would want to keep it in the game. So yeah, let's dive into that right now. So, after seeing a lot of these opinions, I immediately took to social media and ran two different polls. I asked the question, do you think the luck stat in Anthem should be removed from the game entirely? And 72% of you said yes, while 28% of you said no. Now, also let's check out the other poll, which asked the same question. Here it says 68% of you said yes, so about 70%, and then 32% said no. So roughly the same results on two different social media platforms. You can vote, by the way, on this poll by following the link in the description below, and also give your opinion if you want to see luck stay in the game or not sound off. This is a really important one. I think it also is super important that it is adjusted in the future for sure, and we'll talk about that right now, actually. So I did ask you guys about this, and you did have some responses here. So let's dive into that first of all. So Ray Sean says this: right now I have 100% of my luck on my Storm, and I still get little or no Masterworks, and I still haven't picked up a Legendary yet. Is there a cutoff for luck? Yeah, it's about 90%. So you don't want to go over 90% from what I have been hearing. But that's his experience. Next up, we have Battle for FR, my buddy here who I have streamed with several times. He says, I think it should. Why should I ruin a very good build where I can have fun for a crappy build with luck just to drop better loot? We just need a better drop rate, especially since the whole design behind building a suit is to create some crazy stats, but we can't. Yeah, definitely. I definitely hear him on that one for sure. And then next up, Chris Nielsen, who sits in on my live streams all the time. He says, I think they just need to improve the rate of drop of legendaries. So he believes that luck should stay in the game, and all they need to do is adjust the legendary drop rates going forward. Next up, we have Corey, who says this: I was sitting at 169% luck and removed all of it and got more drops. So what? That's confusing. That makes absolutely no sense. I'll tell you guys my personal experience after more playtime with Anthem in just a moment, by the way. Dan X, the man, says this: luck should be tied to the difficulty that you're playing on. That's a good point. What do you guys think about that one? Do you think it's simpler to make it where luck is more tied to the difficulty you're on versus the gear you're running? That's another thing that they can actually do. They can run that behind the scenes, of course. Not even tell you if they wanted to. But another idea is to actually have it where you can craft luck consumables. That was another thought that I've been, asking you guys about as well. But let's keep going here. Now, Lord Palamus says this. He sent this through Discord to me. He showed off one of his recent runs, and he got a ton of legendaries and Masterworks, as you could see here. But it's the legendaries you really want, of course. Now, how did he do this? He goes on to explain the following. Morning, my man. So this happened this morning for 20 minutes in free play. Had crazy drops. All of us are on our friends list, and we're all higher power levels, running 81 luck. So another thing that I have been hearing about this a lot lately is that you're going to want to run with a group that is a high power level no matter what. So, and you're going to want to team up. And also, if you're running with randoms, it's super important that they also have really good power levels. And if you end up with a group that has someone with epics, your chance apparently is not so good in terms of getting legendaries. Now, at the same time, I've been hearing that running solo by yourself in free play with no one with you at a high power gear level will treat you like your own group, and you should be getting really good drop rates. There were some tests done on this as well, and people were like, yeah, that's definitely working. Now, in my own experience, I have done this, and I am a pretty good power level, and I was running, I think it was like 48% luck or something like that. Pretty decent, not the best, but I did play for like 6 hours messing around here, and nothing. I did not get one legendary at all, and I did get Masterworks. But yeah, I was like, what in the world? Now, I did notice that, you know, I was getting more in terms of Masterworks when I hit Grandmaster 3 on Legendary Contract. But I didn't get to finish the contract because it disconnected, unfortunately. So I have further testing to do. So I think Grandmaster 3 could also be another thing to mess around with for sure. Because even if you're like a random going into Grandmaster 3, which is not ideal, of course, no matter what, it's more than likely that the group you're running with, they're going to be running very high power gear levels. So just keep that in mind. At least I think. From what I noticed, it seemed that to be the case when running with randoms on Grandmaster 3. Alright, so let's keep going. So there were some more posts about this out on Reddit. Elysium RL, he's back again. He says, I believe the luck stat should be removed from the game, just an opinion. He got tons of support on this one. So let's see what he had to say here. He says, people keep thinking that using more luck is going to help them with the drops. No one knows this for sure, and it's just forcing us to use weaker gear with luck just to reach the cap. Luck is a terrible role to depend on. Many people going now to Grandmaster 2 must be using a few epics with luck just to have more chances instead of going full masterwork or legendary with a better build to survive. P.S. Also, this will make us realize that if we don't get legendary gear, it's just bad RNG and not the more or less luck that we are using. So excellent points there. So basically what I'm hearing with the complaints with luck is that it's tied to inscriptions and it's influencing your playstyle and the gear that you are running. Maybe you want to go all legendaries and masterworks, but hey, you have tons of luck on that component that's an epic or something really bad, or you don't even want to use that component or what have you. You're going to have to equip that component and not run the build that you really want to run. And that is, I do believe that with luck influencing playstyle like that, that's a problem in my opinion. Like, that's not good at all. So, I think that is a problem, like, in my opinion. So, let me know what you guys make of that specifically, luck influencing your playstyle. Are you really enjoying that, or is it a bummer when that happens? Because it's not just about luck influencing your drops and stuff like that. Like, that's kind of a fun mechanic for sure. It's kind of like going in there and it feels like you're, I guess you would say, gambling or something like that. But it can be a lot of fun going into the game with a higher luck rating and going, holy crap, I'm going to get better drops. And it does definitely, if it works right, it can feel more rewarding for sure. But yeah. A lot of stuff to be discussed regarding luck, and I think Bioware has a lot of thinking to do on this one. Alright, there was a reply to this post here, and this was definitely really interesting. This comes from Gostadis, who says, this Guild Wars 2 removed the luck stat from gear years ago. The luck stat is unfair for everyone. Some people will have builds for luck and other builds for high-level difficulty content. The problem is the people who don't. Those people will pick the luck increasing gear even if they have more optimal gear just so they can get better loot. This is incredibly unfair for their teammates since the person who's contributing the less to the team since they have non-optimal gear, will be the one getting more better rewards. Meanwhile, the other players who have properly picked their build to be optimal and thus contributing more are getting less worse rewards, which, at least in my opinion, is just bad design and incredibly unfair. The same can be said for Harvesting Boon. A good solution for this would be making both the luck stat and Harvesting Boon non-gear dependent account-wide stats that you can increase by recycling weapons for the luck stat, which means blue epic items drops at least have a purpose and harvesting for the harvesting stat. This is what Guild Wars 2 did, and it worked very well. So excellent points there. Again, Bioware, hopefully they see, I'm sure they see a lot of these posts out there and opinions, and it seems like, I keep saying this, but I do notice that Bioware is really in tune to the community. They up the legendary drops, although in my personal experience, I have yet to really receive one. It's so weird, at least after that, update to the drop. So, man, I don't know what's going on there, but I've noticed I have had better luck in terms of my drop rate and legendaries when it comes to running with a group. At least that was before patch. But ever since I got that legendary grenade, before they adjusted the legendary drops, it's been like the game was like, put on the brakes, you're not getting as many legendaries. That's how it has felt, at least in my personal experience. Alright, so you guys may remember that I did mention to you that Bioware is going to be at GDC 2019. They still are, but I did also mention that they're going to be talking about the development process of the game. That was actually canceled. The Pile of Sand development methodology for Anthem was canceled, and I think that was actually the right move. I can imagine that being trolled down the road. Yeah, as you can see, the shading the world of Anthem is still going on, though, March 21st. So that's still going to be happening. Will we get anything new from GDC 2019 in terms of Anthem news and stuff? Probably not again, but yeah. We could, I think, again, that Bioware canceling that probably was a better decision, and kind of keeping the PR on the good side, I think, is Bioware's main initiative right now. So in terms of PR, they're probably going to focus on new content to the game, and we should be hearing about that very soon. So I think that's what Bioware is going to be doing going forward. Alright, so it's time to go over your top comments. Remember to leave a comment down below. It could end up right here in a video. Let's do this. So the first comment comes from Alpha9, who says this: Legendary and Masterworks seem to be the exact same. They should be unique. And this was a response to the recent video I did about opinions from the community about Legendaries not being unique enough. And yeah, that's basically the sentiment still going forward. I'm using some really cool weapons in this clip, as you can see here. Divine Vengeance. I think this weapon is really cool. Like, getting these criticals and seeing these explosions going off is so freaking awesome. And I personally think that's sort of the route they should be taking going forward. But it would be nice to have flashier weapons, of course, in terms of actual design. And stuff like, I've mentioned before, lightning going off, more plasma-based weapons, laser-based weapons. Nothing too over-the-top, like ridiculous, like Borderlands, where you're throwing your weapon and it explodes and then it just, like, remakes itself in your hand. Then that may be a bit too much, of course. Next top comment comes from Motorola Samurai, who says this: Is it just me, or are shotguns totally useless shotguns? Can you imagine a weapon, a shotgun? No, but seriously. Yeah, I don't even use the shotguns at all right now. Let me know, is anyone actually using a build that specializes in shotguns? Hit me up on Discord if you are, and if you're like, this is the best build ever, you have to check this out, Robbie. I will check it out. But guys, thank you so much for the love and support again on the videos. I know that I say that often, but I seriously mean it. It really means the world to me. Stay tuned here for more Anthem news, and of course, you guessed it, open world gaming goodness. And I will see you next time. Take care.